Welcome to Insights into Insurance with Tom Sorensen of Americana Insurance Group. All information provided is educational in nature and not intended to be acted upon without first consulting the appropriately licensed professional.
It's Insights into Insurance with Americana Insurance's Tom Sorensen. And Tom, good morning.
Hey, good Saturday morning to you, Paul.
Now, Tom, we have two guests in studio today, so if it's all right, we'll just jump right on into our listener email.
Let's do it.
All right, the email, hello, Insights into Insurance. Love the show. Thanks for doing this. I'm a farmer and have been hearing some talk about a health plan for farmers. Do you know what it is? And does Americana Insurance Group offer it? Thank you, Kyle.
Well, hey, Kyle. Yeah, and that's why we do have two special guests. We do know what it is, and we do offer it at Americana Insurance, but we'll tell more about it here. I got two special guests with me, and they are Mike Uthout of IFC Marketing and Suzanne Dixon with Americana Insurance Group. Hey, Mike, how are you doing this morning?
Doing great. Thanks for asking, Tom.
That's good. Tell me who you are and why you are here. Basically, what is IFC and what do you do there?
Absolutely. IFC is a marketing and contracting arm for insurance agents, and what I specifically do at IFC is I help agents when it comes to group health insurance, when they have questions about what's new, what markets to access, and how to help their clients find the best fit solution.
And Suzanne, I know what you do at Americana Insurance, but why don't you tell the listeners what you do at Americana Insurance?
Sure, Tom. I am a insurance agent at Americana, also selling farm, home, auto, and I focus on health insurance as well. So Medicare, individual markets, and the traditional insurance as well. So.
Yeah, Suzanne's our health insurance go-to person in our office, and Mike, you work with Suzanne together dealing with group health, correct?
Correct.
Well, now let's get back and answer Kyle's question. Suzanne, what is this plan that he is hearing about?
The health plan that Kyle is probably asking about is called 40 Square. It's a 308B co-op that was formed in 2009, but with recent legislation changes, 40 Square is now able to sponsor joint self-insurance plan regulated by federal government, which is funded through a trust.
And Suzanne, is there a certain time that they can only buy this policy?
Yeah, so during open enrollment, which runs like the traditional market, November 1st through December 15th. So please give me a call as soon as you can so we can set up a time to talk. Again, November 1st through December 15th for a January 1st, 2018 effective date.
And that's the open enrollment.
Correct.
So basically, it's a health plan for farmers.
Correct.
Just like if you can think of it as a big industry in town or something that has a group plan, well, they're trying to put all the farmers together and have their group plan. Is that correct, Mike?
That's right.
And what is their 40 Square's purpose and mission?
The purpose and mission is really to bring quality, sustainable healthcare coverage to Minnesota's ag community. I think if many of you have experienced that there's been quite a bit of turbulence in the market, especially to the smaller ag producers that maybe don't have a traditional health plan or found it difficult to sponsor one in the past.
Yeah, it's always been a big deal is, farmers would always say, God, I wish I could get on with a group plan like my neighbor Joe or somebody, because maybe their spouse worked at a company here locally in town that had a group plan. But there was nothing there for the farmers to be able to do that. So how does one become a member of 40 Square Co-op, Mike?
The way to become a member is there's a few qualifications to becoming a member, and really you must be a farmer who is an employer. You have to actively be working in production agriculture in the state of Minnesota. You either need to be filing a federal tax return of a Schedule F or a 1065 partnership tax return. And then there are two pieces of stock inside of the cooperative that you will be purchasing to become a member. And when you decide to become a member, you're making a 3-year commitment to be a part of and purchasing health insurance through the co-op.
Okay, so are they obligated to buy the insurance for 3 years? Let's just say after a year they don't want to have it anymore. Are they obligated to have the second and third year?
Yeah, great question. So you're not obligated to have the health insurance for 3 years, but if you don't continue on the plan for 3 years, you'll give up your rights to that stock that you purchased and they'd be forfeited back to the co-op.
Okay, understandable. So how is it structured?
The structure of the plan, because it's a self-insured plan, you really need a plan sponsor behind the actual plan. So that's really what 40 Square Cooperative Solutions is. They are the plan sponsor behind the plan. It's, like Suzanne said, a joint self-insured plan funded through a trust, where the trust is there to bring in the premiums that the members are paying, and that trust is only to be used for the health insurance member purposes to pay out for claims and administrative expenses. This is all done through what's called a MIWA, and that probably doesn't make a lot of sense to anybody, but it's called a multiple employer welfare arrangement, where you have a big group of small employers banding together to form one big plan together.
Okay, great. Actually, that's good information. Suzanne, like other group insurance, there has to be an employee relationship. How or what would qualify to them to have health insurance through 40 Square?
The key to qualify as a farmer is to be able to obtain health insurance through the 40 Square is that they must have an employee that they provide a W-2 form to. That could be someone who does farm hand work, helps with planting or harvesting. Many cases nowadays, the wife or spouse of a farmer is a W-2 employee and gets paid for bookkeeping, or possibly works also with the harvesting and planting. So the big key is that they have to have a W-2 employee.
Correct. Okay. I do believe it's time for us to take a break, right, Paul?
Yeah, it sounds good. And when we come back, I know you've got some more questions we want to help Kyle out with on this question. Right?
Yeah, this is a big topic in the ag community right now, so we'll come back and do that.
Sounds good. More insights into insurance with Americana Insurance's Tom Sorensen in just 30 seconds.
Nationwide is on your side. You have a side that is retired, playing tag and getting tired. A side that owns your own store. Looks like you need to expand some more. That's why there's a Nationwide to help protect and grow your many sides. Nationwide is on your side.
Nationwide Mutual Insurance Company and Affiliates, Columbus, Ohio.
For all your many sides, there's Nationwide. Call Americana Insurance Group in Albert Lea and Wells today.
Back here on Insights into Insurance with Americana Insurance's Tom Sorensen. And Tom, we had an email from Kyle as he was referring to a health plan for farmers, asking what it is and whether or not Americana Insurance Group offers it. We've discovered what it's called, the 40 Square Co-op plan.
Right.
But we've got some more things to kind of go into with this, right?
Right, and again, I brought in two people that know a lot about this, Mike Guthout with IFC Marketing and Suzanne Dixon with American Insurance Group. So my next question is going to be with Mike about the 40 Square is, what if the co-op has a large loss? Could the members get charged in an assessment?
That's a good question, because that has happened in the past with co-ops. With this co-op at 40 Square, if the co-op has large losses, which, by the way, because it's a self-insured plan, they're out buying risk protection in terms of what's called stop loss or reinsurance coverage. But if there are large losses, there will not be assessments made to the member for the health plan. The way they would address any losses in the health plan is for future years, premiums may be affected because of those losses.
It's kind of like property and casualty insurance. All the property and casualty carriers actually purchase what they call reinsurance above and beyond their own insurance. So let's just say you have a major catastrophe happen and you have a lot of losses and it's a large amount of money. Usually they're capped at a certain level, and then above and beyond that, the reinsurance company would pay those extra losses. Is how that's set up. Is that correct, Mike?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, Suzanne, how many medical plans do they offer?
They offer 6 different plans, 4 of which are HSA compliant, 2 that are a lower deductible with co-pays like you would see in the traditional market as well.
So are the coverages pretty close to like a traditional market, what they offer?
Yeah, those two lower deductible ones have co-pays on office visits and prescriptions like you would see in the traditional market, as well as the HSA ones are structured a lot like those that we see through Blue Cross or Medica today.
Okay. So are these what we call ACA compliant, or maybe almost we could say, are they Obamacare compliant?
Yes, they are, and you would be able to check that on your tax return that you do have ACA compliant insurance.
Okay, great. So if the farmers would want to get more information and get a quote, how can they see more about this or find out more about this, Susan?
Sure. So Mike and I did a webinar that we are going to have out on our website that they can go through some slides, and we talk about it a little bit more in depth. We also sent it out to all of our farm clients in our agency. You can go to our website again at americaninsurance.com and view that webinar. You can also contact me at the office, 507-377-2000, or by email. My email is suzanne.d@americaninsurance.com, and I can talk to you about it, share with you some thoughts and ideas, go over what you currently have to how this may go, and sit down and show you what kind of a quote you could get.
Yeah, it's just to let everybody know, I'll kind of talk about exactly what she was saying again is, Mike and Suzanne did a webinar, and we have now put it on our website at americaninsurance.com, and it's under the tab News and Announcements. So if they go to our website, go to News and Announcements tab, and the 40 Square webinar will be in that position. Also, I have sent this webinar out to all of our farm and crop insurance clients, so basically all of our ag clients. So they should have received that by now. So they will be able to review that. And click on there if they want to get a quote on there, they can do that also. So Mike and Suzanne, do you feel that this could grow quite considerably in the future, or what's your feelings about the plan?
So Tom, I think your question about interest in the co-op plan, I know the co-op 40 Square did meetings all across the state of Minnesota. There's been some great interest among farmers. One of the things that I continually hear is that this is something for farmers only, created by farmers, only for the ag community, and that people were really interested in being involved and being able to control their healthcare solution for years going forward.
You know, I've met with one client and kind of compared it to what they currently have today versus going through 40 Square. And one thing we didn't mention about 40 Square is that since this is a co-op and group, they can be health underwritten. They are going to get 10 to 15 questions asked about their health. So that does affect it, whereas in the traditional market today, if you're buying through MNsure or just the individual market, we don't rate on health. So if they're healthy, it's probably going to be maybe advantageous for them. If they're not, it won't be. So it's really going to depend on the makeup of the family, the husband, the wife, medical, so on and so forth.
Right, so it's medically underwritten, but they're guaranteed an offer from 40 Square is my understanding, right, Mike?
That's correct. So it's guaranteed issue.
Yep.
And the prices that you'll see will be one of 5 tiers, and which tier you fall under really depends on how you answer those health issue questions.
Right. Now my understanding is, let's just say the wife is not very healthy, but the husband and 2 children and is healthy, or the employee also is healthy. They can buy it for the healthy ones and the unhealthy one if it's not, advantageous to them as far as cost-wise. They could go out on the regular market and get their own insurance there too, right?
Correct.
Okay. Anything else in closing that you want to say?
Nope, just give me a call at the office again, 507-377-2000, and I'd be happy to talk to anybody about it and kind of go through things with you, questions. If we need to, I can reach out to Mike, or we can contact a co-op directly.
Sounds great. Remember, the webinar is on our website at americanainsurance.com, and then to contact Suzanne at suzanne.d@americanainsurance.com if you're wanting any more information. Mike, Suzanne, thank you so much for being part of this. This is a lot of good information, and I got a feeling that this will be a lot of interest to our farming community. Thank you.
You've been listening to Insights into Insurance from Americana Insurance Group. All information provided is intended to be educational in nature. Before acting upon any information obtained during the Insights into Insurance radio show broadcast, consult an appropriately licensed professional.